Hey, KB here, former MTV VJ, and I used to work in radio as well. And one thing I used to love when I was in radio was this day in rock and roll history. So I decided to just randomly pick December 8th as a day to start this. Who knew it was such a big day? Sadly, some very significant deaths. So, first and foremost, in 1980, unfortunately, this is the day that John Lennon was shot and killed by Mark David Chapman. Of course, John Lennon from the Beatles, and of course, then had his own solo career. Really quite amazing. So, this was actually a couple of weeks after Double Fantasy came out that he was killed. Mark David Chapman is the person that murdered John Lennon. John was only 40 years old. This person is still in jail for the crime of shooting John 4 times in the back. So this happened in New York City outside this building, the Dakota, which is on 72nd Street and Central Park. It's a beautiful building. I used to live in New York. Anybody who lives there knows it's an iconic building. So this is very sad, but this is where it happened. Like I said, that was only a couple weeks after Double Fantasy had come out, the record that he had done with Yoko. And that had the songs Starting Over, Watching the Wheels, and Woman, which are all great songs. So, of course, rest in peace, John Lennon. That happened in 1980 on December 8th. Also on December 8th, this time in 2004, Dimebag Darrell Abbott from Pantera was also murdered. Dimebag and his band Damage Plan were playing at the Alrosa Village nightclub. This was in Columbus, Ohio, when he was shot and killed by a man who rushed the stage and shot him in front of everybody. He was killed by a man named Nathan Gale, who also killed 3 other people. Apparently, he was schizophrenic and had apparently been off his meds. So Mark David Chapman, who killed John Lennon, is still in jail, but Nathan Gale was killed by police. It is an absolutely really, really sad and crazy story. What's even crazier is I know somebody who was there that night. So I am an anchor for the UFC, and there's a fighter named Matt Brown who was in the nightclub the night that Dimebag Darrell was shot. Over on my other channel, just YouTube.com/Karyn Bryant, you can see this video here. Matt tells the whole story of that night, what he saw, what happened with the police officers that came. It's incredible. So if you want to hear a first-hand account of what happened that night that Dimebag Darrell was killed, please go look for this video. I will put the link up, but you can find it on my other YouTube channel. Okay, in uplifting news, in better news, also on December 8th, this time in 1976, this is when the Eagles released Hotel California. This was their 5th studio album. It was the first one with Joe Walsh. Of course, we all know Hotel California is a massive hit, and that album has actually sold over 32 million copies worldwide, so well done. Also, this day, December 8th, in 2013, Metallica became the first band to play on all 7 continents. So here's a picture of Metallica. They played at the Argentine Antarctic base Carlini. So they became the first band to play on all 7 continents, which is pretty amazing. Now, as I mentioned, I am a former MTV VJ, and I have my own little Metallica side note. On October 12th in 1991, they were part of A Day on the Green. They played with Queensryche, Faith No More, and Soundgarden. And when I was an MTV VJ, I was there working that day, and I actually got to introduce them with Kurt Loder for our audience. I did a bunch of things. You can find it on YouTube. Here's a little bit of me back as an MTV VJ introducing Metallica.
Welcome back to Day on the Green from Oakland, California, where it is now time for the headliners of the evening.
That's right, Metallica. We've got more than 40,000 people here in the nighttime in Oakland to check out this band.
And here they are with Sad But True.
So Metallica used to come to the MTV studios all the time, and I do have my very own Lars Ulrich drumstick here as well. So yeah, this is something that I have had for a long time and I absolutely love. So congrats to Metallica for that feat. That is very cool. Let's get into some birthdays that also fall on December 8th in rock and roll. Okay, I don't know if I can do it. The Candyman can. Sammy Davis Jr. Was born in 1925 on December 8th. Of course, Sammy, part of the Rat Pack, and without Sammy, we wouldn't have had Bruno Mars. So you got to give it to the OG, Sammy Davis Jr. Where is the second album? Oh my God, please, please. All right, also born on this day was Jim Morrison. This was in 1943, of course, Jim Morrison of The Doors. you know, Mr. Mojo Rising, all that. You gotta love the Doors. You gotta love Jim Morrison. If I'm thinking of my favorite Doors song, I might have to go with Light My Fire, although, of course, they have a lot of great songs. Also born on December 8th, Gregg Allman. This was in 1947. I'm such a Gregg Allman fan. My dad was a major Gregg Allman fan and Allman Brothers fan, so I grew up listening to this music all my life. Ramblin' Man means so much to me. Whippin' Post, come on. So shout out to Gregg Allman, who was born on this day, December 8th, and also shout out to my dad. And one more birthday on December 8th. This one is Sinead O'Connor. She was born on December 8th in 1966. Now, I absolutely love Sinead O'Connor. Somewhere I have a ticket stub from seeing her back on the tour when, you know, After Nothing Compares to You came out, and she was such a massive star. That was such a great tour. She was so talented. I was such a fan. Over on my other channel, I actually have a video with Conor McGregor talking about Sinead O'Connor and what her music means to him. I'll put the link up here. But yeah, you should check this video out if you are into MMA, if you're a Conor McGregor fan, or you're just curious what his take is on Sinead O'Connor. I suggest you check this video out. So anyway, there you have it. That is this day in rock history for December 8th. And I figured, why not give this a go? I used to love these kind of things when I worked in radio, and I thought I'd bring it to YouTube. So I'll just maybe pick some random days. Maybe I'll do this once a week or whatever. Let me know what you think of it. But if you do like this video, please hit that like button and hit subscribe. As I mentioned, I'm just getting this second channel going. I've got more than 200,000 subscribers on my other channel. I'm our YouTube partner on my other channel, and I would love to get there with this one as well. This channel will be dedicated more to pop culture, music, a lot of my throwbacks from MTV, sound effects. I also did a lot of other kind of entertainment things as well. So if you look around, you might see Junkyard Wars, you might see Name That Video, you might see movies for guys who like movies. I've got some fun stuff here. Anyway, thanks for checking this out, and see you next time.